Oh, yeah, of course. You know, some of these vaccines have MSG-like chemicals in them. I mean, it's absolutely absurd. But it did blow up in their face because most people said, no, I'm not going to inject myself. I'm not going to subject my children to these poisons. And those people are doing just fine. Maybe they took some vitamin D. Maybe they ate some healthy foods. Maybe they got a little sunshine or just took care of their immune system. They're alive and well and doing just great. They don't need a vaccine injection.
Cass Sunstein says it should be an illegal conspiracy theory to say that sunshine is good for you. Did you see that?
No, that's a new one, but it doesn't surprise me.
I'm not joking. I know that sounds crazy, folks. Just like K.I. in Austin saying mercury's good for kids' brains. It's in his Chicago Law School report from a year and a half ago. He says, let me give you an example of a conspiracy theory that's outrageous and should be illegal. People saying that some sunlight is good for you. When it's every major medical outfit out there, all the major studies of how it stops you from getting many forms of cancer, we're supposed to get some sunlight. We'll be right back with Mike Adams, ladies and gentlemen. International hearings begin on falsified swine flu pandemic. Infowars.net, Steve Watson. We have the official 47-nation body health board. In order to promote their, this is from the head of the board, in order to promote their patented drugs and vaccines against flu, pharmaceutical companies influence scientists and official agencies responsible for health standards to alarm governments worldwide and make them squander their tight health resources for inefficient vaccine strategy and needlessly expose millions of healthy people to the risk of an unknown amount of side effects of insufficiently tested vaccines. The bird flu campaign of 2006 combined with the swine flu campaign seem to have caused a great deal of damage not only to some vaccinated patients and to the public health budgets, but to the credibility and accountability of important international health agencies. And it continues, and we've got one of the heads of the committee joining us Thursday or Friday. We're working on several of them right now, but Thursday and Friday. Going back to Mike Adams. Mike, we know that the federal government secretly went into health boards around the country, and this happened everywhere else in the world, a strategic operation, and told them in January and February, flu is coming, it's going to kill millions per state. That's what they told New York State, Indiana, Illinois. We knew it was really going to a level 6 in April, 2 months before it did, because of internal health board documents we got, state of Texas. I mean, this was a concerted hype. This was a concerted program to scare the hell out of everybody. Mike Adams.
Yeah, absolutely, it was, Alex, and it worked like gangbusters for a very long time. And this is the way that they create demand for vaccines while also creating an engineered shortage of supply. And if you look at the work of covert persuasion and human psychology and some of the research that has been conducted over the years, you know that the most effective way to motivate people to want something is to first make them afraid so that they have to have it and then tell them there isn't enough to go around. They use this in order to get people lining up for swine flu vaccine, and it worked extremely well. And then, of course, when the hoax broke and they had plenty of supply of vaccines, the whole thing reversed on them, and people realized, well, gee, there's plenty of supply now, and the pandemic isn't really a pandemic.
And we even have the CFR recorded where they talk about, we'll say there's not enough vaccine to make everybody run out and want to get it. Yeah, the tactics here have been really remarkable. But the most interesting part about this, Alex, has been the viciousness of the vaccine pushers. Now, you got to realize when you're dealing with vaccine pushers, these are people who, in my opinion, because they've taken so many vaccines in the past and their brains have been bathed in these chemical adjuvants, these people are literally, and this is not an insult of a term, this is a scientific description, they are brain damaged. They lack cognitive function to think for themselves. This is part of the agenda, I believe, Alex, that the vaccines are designed to create a nation of people who cannot think for themselves. It's kind of like we know this. I mean, they're on the news saying mercury's good for your children now, treating us like we're totally brain damaged, and now the UN's having to lower the average IQ, and pretty soon you'll be a genius if you're able to say your ABCs or tie your shoelaces.
Well, there's that movie, Idiocracy, by, I think, starring Luke Wilson. It was a wonderful movie.
Mike Judge.
Yeah, Mike Judge created the movie, right. And in the previous segment, you were talking about Mark Dice going out and having people sign the petition to repeal the First Amendment, and they were signing it. You know, people have forgotten how to think, or they are seriously so brain damaged that they cannot assess.
Well, by the way, Mike, that's not your opinion. I mean, we have the sodium fluoride and other chemicals put in the water. They know brain damages. We have government documents where they said they would do it to control people. We know mercury is the most deadly heavy metal for brain damage. We know that they want to drug the population. We have the new Freedom Initiative documents. This is in all the UN documents, how they were going to drug the population. It's the Brave New World.
Yeah, that's right. And don't forget the Mothers Act and the mental health initiatives for expectant mothers. They want to drug the babies before they're even born.
And now they're saying they want to put lithium in the water supply. Have you seen that newscast?
Oh, you know what? I can't keep track of all the poison agendas. There's just too much.
By the way, I'm not joking about the CFR audio blog. They put it out where they talked about how they were hoaxing people by saying there wasn't enough vaccine.
Again, nothing surprises me at this point. If there's anything that we've learned from this pandemic and the way people have acted, it's that they will do anything. The vaccine-pushing jackals, I call them sometimes, they will do anything to get more vaccines injected into more babies, more men and women, more senior citizens. They'll do anything. They'll lie, they'll deceive, they'll distort, they'll commit fraud. And this is just normal, everyday business for them.
Just like the local Austin News saying it's illegal for private people to sell guns when it's not.
We're on the march. The